Hey YouTube, a bit more pedal day. Borrowed these off my pal who got them in a trade. So I've done the Paul Gilbert one. This is a Tone City Heat pedal, which I have no idea what it is, but I'm assuming it's a sort of drive. I wonder, is that colour exactly the same as a Boss DS1? Is that what it is? Do I know what a Boss DS1 is anyway? I don't know. Right, so if I put everything at the tone, this has been set tone, if I put everything at half, see what happens. So using the corker again, this is in I suppose humbucker mode. Straight into the orange TH30. And then as is customary, turn it up to full to see what it does. Well, again, I think it's a wee bit like that Paul Gilbert one. It seems to be a bit subtle, doesn't it? That big knob in the middle doesn't really seem to do that much. Actually, do you know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me a wee bit of, see if you're like me and you don't like treble bleed circuits in your guitars and you're using a distortion sound, see that thing where you kind of set everything so that you've got the guitar playing on 8 or 9, and then when you put it up to 10 you get like a wee, it doesn't necessarily get that much louder, it kind of gets, this seems to be what that knob there does, kind of thing. It puts a little bit more heat behind it. Pick up. Without it. Something. The gain isn't variable on this pedal. I do like it though. It's kind of like it's almost like a set gain pedal, because it doesn't, it's like, I'll just have a little bit of distortion. Nah, I don't do that. What it does again is it seems to be distorting that mid frequency thing. But you can still tell them it's single coils. Is that what is the buzzword for that? Transparent, where I don't know. And then again, some of these guitars do punch a bit above their weight. Well, not necessarily punch above their weight, but you can kind of. I'm getting to the stage where I think I could tell the corker plugged into anything. It sounds like it sounds. A little bit with I was playing the PGM for the last one with the Steve Vai pickups. It's got its own sound as well. But I think it's more to do with that funny Steve Vai pickup. Whereas these pickups in this are, well, they're expensive ones, but they're not not weird ones. It's just like it's a DiMarzio tone zone and a DiMarzio super distortion. So it's not, they're well-known pickups, but the guitar itself, it's just got a certain sound that no matter how much distortion or how clean it is, it's still got its own wee flavour. Again, I think that's just one of the things you get with really expensive guitars. That's why people spend $5,000 in a custom shop, because it will have a certain little characteristic that makes it sound like it does, which won't be if you've got a factory guitar. Even if you've got like £1,000 or £2,000 factory one, they're all the same. Whereas if you get one that's kind of made, you get a little bit of difference. I mean, I'm just glad I don't have to choose. Really? It's like, I have no idea how you go choosing pickups. I suppose it's like anything else. I could probably tell the difference between like Heinz tomato soup and Aldi tomato soup, but if you're mad into tomato soups, you'll be able to tell the difference between all the different brands. I'm just not that into it. The pedals, maybe it is a DS1. I thought, from memory, a DS1 does kind of have ballpark that kind of sound. The Boss DS1. And also I'm running it through an Orange TH30 valve amp, so probably about the best thing you can run something like that into. I mean, do you use the picture board? What does it sound like on the drive channel then, actually? I've now started up the drive channel thing, although to be honest, I think I might disconnect the foot pedal, because every time you turn it on, you have to have this is the clean and dirty switch. You have to have it set to dirty for the foot pedal to work. And then when you turn it on, it's on dirty, and then you click on it and it's still on dirty, and then you click on it again and it moves to clean. So I've got to stomp on the foot pedal 3 times every time I turn the amp on. Whereas if I disconnect it, it's just a case of doing that, which is actually probably easier than going over there and trying to stomp on a foot switch. But I've got a foot switch, so I want to use it. So that just sounds amazing. That's without the pedal on. There's less gain on the drive channel, so this is your mildly overdriven. Yeah, I'm going to go for that being mildly overdriven. You get away with that almost being clean. That just seems to have a magical point where it just suddenly becomes a sound that way. So, Tone City heat pedal, yeah, pretty good. Again, I don't know how. No, I'm obviously liking this one, and I'm liking the Paul Gilbert one. They're not doing things I don't like, so I would say you're better with it than you are without it. Whether it's worth, I don't think these pedals are expensive. I think the Tone City are kind of like a. I don't think they're super budget. I mean, they do kind of look like the Moskies and stuff. I think they're about 40 or 50 quid. But if you just need a little bit more sizzle out your amp, I think is if you're into such things, I mean that goes up loud. That goes distorted enough for me. And I suppose maybe if I started when I start up another band and I'm actually using this live at volume and in anger, I might get pissed off at the fact it doesn't have an EQ on it. So something like this might be a good one. I don't know. I still think there's a hell of a lot of a placebo effect with guitars as well as pedals and amps. But definitely with pedals, you know, it's like this pedal costs £200, therefore it sounds good. The same thing can be said for a guitar. This guitar was £1,000, therefore it's good. Well, I can, but then I don't know. It's like you've got to step back and go, is it actually, or am I being dazzled by the fact that Jimi Hendrix had one, or whatever, or Tony Iommi or someone I like had them? But yes, I like it if it's your thing. I think I suppose on a purely practical level, having the smaller pedals is a good idea because you can get more on the pedal board, I suppose. Although you do still have to, you can't actually have them butting up completely because then you when you stomp on it, you'll stomp on more than one. But just adds a little bit of heat in. Maybe a lot of people like to stack pedals. I've never got more than one pedal on at a time. Well, okay, I've recently been having reverb on, but apart from reverb, I don't, you know, people stack gains. Oh, but you got to run a tube screamer into your Rat pedal and all that. I've never really found any of that to work for me. Maybe I'm just not after particularly complex things, or to be honest, I don't even listen to records anymore. I should maybe. I need to. I've actually, my stereo appears to have burst. I'm only getting one speaker, so I'm gonna have to upgrade. But using the bits that are there and get a decent stereo in here, like proper speakers and that, so I can listen to higher quality stuff. Because listening to stuff on YouTube and that, it doesn't have the same sound. I nearly shat it when I put on a record. I joined the Sabbath band, you know, running through all the, you know, just making sure I knew how to play all the Sabbath songs, listen to the albums and all that, and it was like, yeah, these are just great. And then I don't know, a year later, I dug out a record player, set it up, put on my record, through the same hi-fi part of my record, and it's just like, my God, there's 10 times as much sound. Kind of like going from, what's the difference between, you know, the £120 Squire Strat and the £3,000 custom master built one. That level of difference, where it does sound the same, because it's still Black Sabbath, and it's still enjoyable, and it's still great, but when you go to the cheaper one, there seems to be there's an awful lot missing. You don't notice that there's no low end or high end or all that stuff. Enough of a rant. Rock on. Catch you later.